Next topic is roots of quadratic equation, or we will see the solution of quadratic equation. Now what do you mean by solution of quadratic equation? It's actually you are finding the values of x. Okay, so if you have a quadratic equation x square plus 5x plus 6, okay, which is equal to 0, you need to find the values of x where you get 0. And that's what exactly you did in case of zeros of polynomial, if you remember, right? So in case of polynomial, we have seen different polynomials, but here the degree is 2. Okay, so you know the graph will be like this, parabola. So we know what do you mean by zeros of a polynomial, where the graph cut x-axis, right? So if you draw the graph, this is one possibility. You can have two zeros, that means two roots if it is quadratic equation. Or you can get like this, that means nowhere it is touching or cutting, so 0 roots is possible. You can have this possibility also, like touching x-axis, one root. So you know, if you find the solution of a quadratic equation, the maximum you can get is two roots, right? Or two zeros. What do you mean by that? We are actually finding the values of x, and two values is what maximum possible, right? So maximum possible values for x which satisfy the given equation are 2. Okay, so we are going to find the values of x. Now the first method is method of factorization, and you know how to factorize a polynomial, that you have already learned, and exactly the same thing is what we are going to do here. We are going to split the middle term, so we are going to use the method of splitting the middle term to factorize the quadratic equation. Now once you can factorize, let's suppose the same quadratic equation x square plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. If you can factorize and write it as x plus 3 into x plus 2 is equal to 0, we had done this discussion already. It's either x plus 3 is equal to 0, because if this need to be 0, the product of 2 is 0, means one of them will be 0, right? It's either x plus 3 is 0 or x plus 2 is equal to 0. I hope this is clear for you. So if x plus 3 is 0, what is x value? Minus 3. If x plus 2 is 0, what is x value? Minus 2. So after factorizing, you take the negative of this. Okay, so if you write it as, if you have expression like x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0, you will factorize it as x minus 3 and x minus 2. The middle term must be the sum of 2 and the constant will be the product of 2, right? So you can write it as, this is minus 3, so 3 is one root, minus 2, so 2 is one root, like this. Because x minus 3 equal to 0, that means x is equal to 3. X minus 2 is equal to 0, that is x is equal to 2. You all know this completely because we already discussed this in your 9th standard and earlier also, right? So I am assuming you know this, but still we will be discussing it little more. Okay, so what we are going to use is splitting the middle term method. I'll go for a quick recap of how you split the middle term. Now let's take this question. You need to find the roots of 2x square minus 5x plus 3 equal to 0. Now 2-3 things that you need to keep in mind is, this is a quadratic equation, right? Because this is of the form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, and where a is not equal to 0, right? A is 2 here. B and c can be 0, not a problem for us, but it's a quadratic equation. Now the degree is 2, that means your zeros will depends on the degree, right? If degree is 2, zeros will be maximum 2, that means maximum 2 roots. It can be 1 also. Okay, it depends on the graph. If you draw, if it cut x-axis at 2 points, you get 2 roots. It cuts x-axis at 1 point, that means you get only 1. In case of y is equal to x square that we have drawn earlier, you saw that it is touching the x-axis at once only, 0, 0 point. So that's your root, or that's your 0. At x is equal to 0, you will get y is equal to 0 in this. Otherwise you won't get y is equal to 0, or x is equal to 0, or x square is equal to 0. So let's take this question. 2x square minus 5x plus 3 is equal to 0. We are going to find the roots by using the method of factorization. How will you factorize? You split the middle term, right? So how will you write this? minus 5x, how will you write? You will write it as minus 2x and minus 3x, right? Why? Because minus 2x and minus 3x will give you minus 5x when you add, and when you multiply minus 2x into minus 3x, okay, minus 2x into minus 3x will give you 6x square. And if you see, we have 2x square into 3, that is a constant, you get 6x square. So this is what we need. So let's factorize. Let's split up the middle term. 2x square minus 2x minus 3x plus 3, okay, is equal to 0. Now we have 2x common here. Let's take it out. 2x into x minus 1 minus, we have 3 common, 3 into x minus 1. Okay, we have already seen this, right? So now if you see x minus 1 is common, so let's take x minus 1 out. 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now you got this given expression, you factorize like this. Now x minus 1 into 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. What does this mean? Either x minus 1 is equal to 0 or 2x minus 3 equal to 0. That is clear for you, right? Or both can be 0. Okay, so if x minus 1 is 0, then what is x value? X value is 1. If 2x minus 3 is 0, okay, how will you find the x value? 2x will be 3, x will be 3 by 2. So what are the solutions if you ask me? 1 and 3 by 2. What does this mean? What do you mean by this solution? These are the roots of quadratic equation, or you can say zeros of the polynomial when we discussed about polynomial, right? So if you substitute this 1 in this equation, you will get 0. The equation will be satisfied, the conditions will be satisfied. If you put 3 by 2 in terms of x, in the places of x, then also you'll get 0. So let's take the equation 2x square minus 5x plus 3 equal to 0. Let's substitute 1. Okay, so you get 2 into 1 square minus 5 into 1 plus 3 equal to 0. So 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 minus 5 is equal to 0. Perfect. Or if you want, you can substitute 3 by 2 also. 2 into 3 by 2 square minus 5 into 3 by 2 plus 3 equal to 0. Okay, so 2 into 3 by 2 square means that become 9 by 4, right? 2 into 9 by 4 minus 5 into 3 by 2 plus 3. So this 2 is getting cancelled with this. This become 9 by 2. 9 by 2 minus 15 by 2 plus 3. So let's take 2 as the LCM. Then you can multiply this with 2. So what will happen is 9 minus 15 plus 6 divided by 2, right? So 9 plus 6 is 15, 15 minus 15 is 0. So you get 0. So I hope you understood what you mean by the solution of quadratic equation. We are finding the values of x where you get the equation satisfied. So in this equation, two values of x which satisfy the equation is 1 and 3 by 2. So we call these two values as roots of the given quadratic equation. How did you find it? You use the method of factorization or splitting the middle term method. We have different other methods also, we will discuss in the next session. Now in this question you need to find 6x square minus x minus 2 is equal to 0. You need to find the roots of it, right? So how will you do? You need to use the splitting the middle term method itself. So how will you split the middle term here? You will write it as 3x minus 4x, right? Then you will get minus x. And 3x and 4x if you multiply, you get 12x square minus 12x square. That is basically 6x square into the constant part. Okay, so you can use 3x and minus 4x. So let's write it as this given quadratic equation you can write as, by splitting the middle term, 6x square plus 3x minus 4x minus 2 is equal to 0. You can take 3x outside, then 2x plus 1 minus, you take 2 outside, okay, then x 2x plus 1. So if you see 2x plus 1 is common, so 2x plus 1 you take out, then 3x minus 2. So now you factorized like this, okay. So if this need to be 0, that is what given. What is the condition? Either 2x plus 1 is equal to 0, okay, or 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now if 2x plus 1 is equal to 0, 2x is equal to minus 1, okay. So what is x? X is equal to minus 1 by 2. So 1 root of this equation is minus 1 by 2. That means one of the value of x which satisfy the given equation is minus 1 by 2. Let's find the second one. So 3x minus 2 is equal to 0 means 3x is equal to 2, x is equal to 3 by 2. So the second value of x which satisfy the equation is 3 by 2. And you know maximum 2 values are possible because the degree is 2. So maximum is 2. So maximum 2 zeros if it's a polynomial, 2 roots in case of it's a quadratic equation. So what are the roots? Minus 1 by 2 and 3 by 2 are the roots of this equation, or you will call these two are the solutions of this equation. Why you call these two are roots and solutions? Because at these 2 points you will get this equation is equal to 0, or at these two values of x the equation, the conditions are satisfied. Okay, I hope this is clear for all of you. Now, if you remember when we started this discussion on quadratic equation in the first session, we started off with the concept of a rectangular plot with area 300, right? So I told you the length is, this is the case, right? If this is x, this is 2x plus 1. Length is 2 times the breadth plus 1 and the area is given as 300, right? Now, can you find the dimensions here? Obviously yes, we can use the method that we have just learned now. You got the quadratic equation there. That is basically x into 2x plus 1 is equal to 300, right? That is nothing but 2x square plus x is equal to 300. When you take 300 to the left side, 2x square plus x minus 300 is equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation which is of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. We can split the middle term and we can find the answer, right? So how will you split the middle term here? You will write it as 2x square. Okay, splitting the middle term means I will write it as minus 24x plus 25x, because this will give you x, that's what I need here, and multiplication will give you 600x square. Okay, that's what we need because this is 2x square and this is 300. Okay, so 2x square and 300. So you will write it as minus 24x plus 25x minus 300 is equal to 0. I hope this is clear. You may face some difficulty in this splitting this middle term, but you know we have a very easy method which is coming. I'll be discussing that shortly. Okay, but here just to make you understand, since we already discussed this concept and the problem also, I am just discussing it here. Okay, so you can take 2x out here. You will take 2x out. Then x minus 12 plus you can take 25 out, then again x minus 12 is equal to 0. Now x minus 12 is common, so take that out. X minus 12 into 2x plus 25 is equal to 0. Now, so what we understood is either x minus 12 is equal to 0, x minus 12 is equal to 0, or 2x plus 25 is equal to 0, right? So, or both can be 0, whatever it is. X minus 12 equal to 0 means x is equal to 12. That is the one of the solution, or that is one of the roots of the given equation. So you can put x is equal to 12. Or what about this? 2x plus 25 equal to 0 means 2x is equal to minus 25, x is equal to minus 12.5. Okay, so second value of x which is possible is minus 12.5. Now see, these are the two values, x is equal to 12 and minus 12.5 are the two values where this equation is satisfied. Okay, the given equation is satisfied. So the two possible values of x are 12 and minus 25. Out of this, which value is valid for us? Only 12, because the length which is given, it cannot be negative. So this is not, since it's an application question, we can take only 12. Otherwise, if the question is to find the roots of the equation, these two are your answers. But otherwise, in our case, this is what we need, right? This is x and this is 2x plus 1. So x can't be minus 12.5. So the only possible value is 12. So if x is 12, this is 12. What is this length? 2 into 12, 24 plus 1, that is 25. And 12 into 25, that is what your 300, which is the area. I hope this is clear for all of you. In this question, you need to find the roots of 2x square plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. So here if you see, this is 2 and this is minus 6. So 2 into minus 6 is minus 12. So we have to factorize minus 12, right? That's how you will be able to write it, right? So how will you factorize? You can write it as minus 4 and 3, or 4 and 3, or 3 and minus 4, right? So which among this is good for us? This is good for us. Okay, not this. Minus 3 and 4, if you take, you will get 1 plus 1 and minus 12, right? In fact, these two are actually same. So this is what we need, minus 3 and 4. So how will you write this? Because we got the product as minus 12 and sum as plus 1, right? So how will you write this? 2x square plus 4x minus 3x minus 6 is equal to 0. You can take 2x out. 2x into x plus 2 minus 3 into x plus 2 is equal to 0, right? Now you can take x plus 2 out. So x plus 2 into 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, right? Now if x plus 2 into 2x plus 3 need to be 0, either x plus 2 is equal to 0 or 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Perfect? Okay. So if x plus 2 is 0, x is equal to minus 2. 2x minus 3 equal to 0. 2x is equal to 3 and x is equal to 3 by 2. So what are the solution? X is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to 3 by 2 are the solutions or the roots. So x is equal to minus 2 and 3 by 2 are the solutions of the given quadratic equation or the roots of the given quadratic equation. What does that mean? At x is equal to minus 2, you will get this equation satisfied. You can substitute minus 2 instead of x and you can see you will be getting 0 in the right hand side. In this question, you need to find the roots of the equation x square minus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0 by factorization, right? So you need to factorize. So if you see here the coefficient is 1. So 1 into minus 10, this is minus 10. So minus 10 is what you need to get as the product, right? Sum you need to get as minus 3. So what is the combination? Minus 5 and 2 is the combination, right? So minus 5 into 2, minus 10, minus 5 and 2, minus 3. So you can write it as minus 5x plus 2x. Okay, so you get minus 3x. So this is x square minus 5x plus 2x minus 10 is equal to 0. Take x out. X into x minus 5 plus 2 take out. X minus 5 is equal to 0. Now take x minus 5 out. X minus 5 into x plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay. Now what is the condition? Any of this is 0, right? So x minus 5 is equal to 0 or x plus 2 is equal to 0. X minus 5 0 means x is equal to 5. X plus 2 0 means x is equal to minus 2. So these are the two solutions. X is equal to 5 and minus 2 are the solutions or the roots of the given quadratic equation. That means if you substitute these two values here, you will get 0. If you want, you can check that. Let's substitute 5 and minus 2. Okay. So x square, let's substitute 5. X square means 5 square minus 3 into 5 minus 10. Right, 5 square is 25 minus 15 minus 10 minus 25 is equal to 0. Then what is the next value? Minus 2. So x square means minus 2 square minus 3 into minus 2 minus 10, right? So minus 2 square means 4. This is plus 6, okay? Then minus 10. So 10 minus 10 is equal to 0. So at these two values the equation is satisfied. That's why we call it as a solution or roots of the equation. I hope you understood the roots of equation or the solution of the quadratic equation completely, and you also understood how to solve it or how to find the solution or root by using the method of factorization or by splitting the middle term. Now how will you solve this question? X square plus 5x plus 6, we have already seen this, right, is equal to 0. This is of the form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So you'll split up the middle term and you can write it as x plus 3 into x plus 2, okay, which is equal to 0. That means either x plus 3 equal to 0, so x is equal to minus 3, or x plus 2 is equal to 0, so x is equal to minus 2. So we have seen the solution, right? This is what we call as the roots of this equation. Now if you remember, when we discussed about zeros of the polynomial, if x square plus 5x is equal to 6, or if x square plus 5x plus 6 is equal to y, or p of x is equal to x square plus 5x plus 6, where the degree of the polynomial is 2, okay, or we have seen you are getting zeros as minus 3 and minus 2, zeros of the polynomial. We have solved the same question, right? Now, okay, how will you represent this x square plus 5x plus 6 in a rectangle? See, if this is x plus 3 into x plus 2, you can represent it as a rectangle, right? With one side x plus 3 and the other side is x plus 2, right? Like this. You will take a rectangle, okay? In that, you can mark like this. So this is x and this is 3. This is x, this is 2. So you actually get x plus 2 and x plus 3. So if you do this, you will get x square plus 3x plus 6 plus 2x, right? So that's what, this 2 will give you 5x, that's what we are getting here. This 3 into 2, because this is 3 and this is 2, will give you 6, and this is what, this x square. So this is how we have seen the visualization. But now what I am saying is, this is equal to 0. That means the area is 0. So how can this be 0? What is the condition or what is the situation? And that's what we have seen after the solution, right? At x is equal to minus 3 and x is equal to minus 2, we will get the area of this rectangle is equal to 0. Now how will you visualize it? We need to get x is equal to minus 3. Okay, so let's take the Cartesian plane and we'll try to visualize on that. Okay, so here you will plot x, here y. Okay, so this is a point which I am looking for. X is equal to minus 3. Okay, so this is minus 3 where y is equal to 0. So this is what I am taking as x. Okay, so you can draw the rectangle. So basically, what is this? If this is x, this is also x. So actually you will get this as x square, right? Then you need to get 5x. Okay, so we know this this length is x, right? This is x. So let's take 3 units, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what you will get is, actually if you join this, this is 1x, 2x and 3x, right? Because this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, or this is 3, 0 point. Okay, so you got actually 3x. Now we need 2 more x, because we need to get the complete rectangle. So we need 2 more x and we need 6, right? So let's take these 2 points. Okay, now if you join this, we know this is x, this length is x. Okay, so this is 1x and this will be 2x. So here if you see, you are getting x, this is x, this is x, this is x, this is x. Now you have 3 on the x-axis and 2 on the y-axis, which will give you 6, right? Like this. See, 6 you can represent like this also, but which one will fit perfectly? Okay, we have seen this kind of representation already, so the 6 will fit perfectly here. Okay, because 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Now what we are actually discussing, we are discussing the solution of this x plus 3 into x plus 2 is equal to 0, right? When the area becomes 0, when it becomes 0, when the length is going to be 0, right? Now how the length can be 0 here? Or I told you x is equal to minus 3, x is equal to minus 3, and that's what we have seen here. Now you can just substitute x is equal to minus 3. Okay, so if you have any problem in visualization, just put x is equal to minus 3 here. Okay, you get 9 here, right? So I am changing the variable to number, right? Minus 3 square 9. So this is minus 3, this is minus 3, this is minus 3, this is minus 3, this is minus 3. So 5 times minus 3 means minus 15. Then I have a 9 here, so plus 9. Then I have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 6 times 1 will give you 6. So this is 15, this is minus 15. Actually this will give you 15 and this will give you 15. Okay, or so this you will get 0. That's why area is 0. Actually length is 0, right? Because this is minus 3, this is plus 3. So actually length is 0. So in this case the two rectangles will get cancelled out. Okay, minus 3 plus 3 both are actually getting cancelled out. If you have any problem in visualization, just put these numbers and then you can visualize easily, right? So this is a point, this is a situation where the area is equal to 0. And what is that point? X is equal to minus 3. One more point is there, x is equal to minus 2. If you want to visualize that, how will you draw that? Same thing only, okay? Let's take x here and y here, okay? Now x, if you take minus 2, okay, this is minus 2, right? So I'm taking this point minus 2, 0. That's where the area is going to be 0. So this is what my x assumption, right? So this is what your x square. So this is actually x, right? Now I need 3x. Let's take 3, okay? So I can complete it. This is actually 3x only. This is x, and this is x, okay? Same thing, what we have drawn earlier, exactly the same thing, because x square plus 5x plus 6, we can represent x square in one square, and 5x as 5 rectangles with 1 and x, then 1 squares, okay? So 6 number of such squares. That's how you will represent this, right? Now here you will take 2x, so this is 1x and this is another x, right? So you got 3 on the x-axis and 2 on the y-axis. You can complete the constant part like this, right? Okay, so this each 1, 1, 1. Now you just substitute x is equal to minus 2. This is getting 4. This is minus 2. 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 So 5 times minus 2 means minus 10. Then this 4. Then the 6 will give you 0. So basically these two rectangles are getting cancelled out. So what we understood is at x is equal to minus 3 and x is equal to minus 2, the area of the rectangle or area is getting 0. Area becomes 0. So I hope this is clear for all of you.